Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. It's happened. Someone is coming. You didn't count on them. You need a gift. There's not enough time to go to the store, to stand in the line, but you know what? You have a craft room and you have talent. So we are going to make a great last-minute gift. And I'm going to show you how I made mine. So you can make it whatever color or theme that you choose. I actually decided to go with a beautiful blue theme. I have some fabric on my bag, my paper bag here. I did sew around the edge of mine. You don't have to. I put a little bit of paper underneath, some flat back pearls, even a little gift card right there that you can write to and from. Some beautiful sari silk from Crimson Heart Studios. I ironed it and I made a ruffle out of it, and then I tied a bow. A little bit of lace, a paper flower, and oh my goodness, you have a beautiful decorated gift bag. Let's look inside. So I used some very pretty blue tissue paper to wrap mine in, and I have a lovely little journal here. Some more of that same fabric that we used from the front of the bag to tie it all together. Some more of that pretty little lace, some flat back pearls, a beautiful picture here from, it's a brand new person, Medieval Mirage. That's where that picture is from. I even have two little dangles right here, and inside we have some different types of papers. I even put a little tiny bag in here, and oh my goodness, oh look, we used one of those little faux envelopes, some lined blue paper, coffee dyed paper, book page. So there's the center, and there are the beautiful dangles that hang below the journal. So it's not a huge journal, but it's definitely large enough that you can jot down your thoughts, and it can become a lovely gift. So let's get right to it, and I'm going to show you how you can make this wonderful gift set just in time for the person to come, and you can give it to them, or possibly you have left someone off of your list that you need to have a gift for. So, Cathy to the rescue. Here we go. We're going to start off with some fabrics. All you need is a small piece. Now for the journal, you will need a 6 1/4 inch by 5 inch piece of fabric. Now you can choose something maybe that you can make into a Christmas theme, or maybe you want to do something a little different. That is all up to you. So we're going to get ourselves our little piece of material. I decided to choose this one and make it lavender. So that is the second bag journal, or journal in a bag, that we're going to make together. I have got a piece of coffee dyed paper, and what you'll need is a piece that is big enough to fit underneath your material, but enough to have a little border around. So what I am going to do is I'm going to get my Yoo-Hoo glue stick. I'm hoping there's enough glue here. And I'm going to apply my glue to the back of my fabric. Now, I am going to be sewing my fabric onto my paper. If you are not going to be sewing your fabric onto the paper, maybe you would want to use something like the tacky glue, or even some fabric tack. So here we go. I'm going to pop it down here just like this, leaving myself enough room around the edge, because what I want to do is I want to bring in my pinking shears. So these are my Fiska pinking shears, and I'm going to trim around the edge. I'm just going to leave a little border around the edge. I'm not really even measuring it that much. I'm just going to cut it around. I can trim it up later if I need to. Let's get this cut. And here we go. Cutting around. And then one last side here. We've got that done. All right. Now, at this point in time, if you are not sewing, then you could go ahead and let yours dry. If you are sewing, then you're going to need to take it to the machine and sew on the fabric around like so. I'm going to show you what that looks like. All right, I have sewed around the edge of my fabric. Now I also have a piece of ephemera here, and I decided to sew around part of the image here, and I want to use this as part of my decoration for the front of my journal. So I'm going to fold this in half now. This is what's going to become our little journal here. So giving it a nice little fold. Okay, that's going to turn out very nice. Now, I'm going to look and see how are we doing for size. I think I need to trim a little bit closer. It's pretty good right here, and it's pretty good on the top and bottom, but I need to take it in just a little bit. So with my pinking shears, I'm going to do just that. There we are. All right, so I like the look of inking. I'm going to grab my frayed burlap and I'm going to ink around the edge just like this, just to give it a little depth. And almost finished. There we go. We got that finished. Now, let's glue our little piece. I think that piece of ephemera looks almost a little bit oriental because my fabric is definitely with that flavor. So I'm going to switch and use my tacky glue. Whoopsie, I have to find that lid. Oh, here it is. I did that once and I just never did find my lid, and it was really really hard when you lose the lid of your glue. Okay, found the lid. Problem fixed. Oh, I'm dropping everything though. Here we go. Let's pop this right on here just like that. Okay, so we've got our cover pretty much taken care of. Possibly we could add a little bit of ruffle down here. Yes, I ironed a lavender piece of sari silk and I ruffled it up with my machine, and I'm going to pop this on maybe something like this. Now for this, I am going to bring in my hot glue gun, and the reason why I'm doing that, it's a Sure Bonder high temp, and then it has that tip on it, and my tip is starting to crack. The reason why I'm bringing in my hot glue gun is because I could use the tacky glue or even fabric tack. That would be perfect type of glue, but it's not going to enable me to keep going with my design. It would have to have some time to dry. So we've got that on there. I'm going to bring my dish in here very quickly, and we'll see here. Maybe some of these would be pretty on there today. Let's just cut off 3 and pop it on here. Do we want to put it right there? That would be nice. There's also something else I might want to try. I have some of those paper roses. Wonder if one of these would be really nice on there, plus a little bit of bling. So maybe, okay, there's the dark. And here's the lighter color. No, I don't think there's enough contrast. And here's another one. Nope, I like this one. Also, maybe a little piece of lace as well. So let's just fray this up a little bit, stretch it, get it to kind of come undone a little bit. I'm going to actually cut it smaller because I just want to touch. I don't want to cover up too much of my sari silk. I want to pop this down a little more. A little bit of glue underneath. There we go. And then let's pop this right on top. There, just a little bit is coming out. All right, so I like that. I'm going to pop these in here because we might need them for our bag, our gift bag that we're going to make. I'm going to add a little bit of this bling right up here at the top. Okay, great cover. Now let's move on to our papers. And I have got a stack of things right here. Let me move this out of the way right here. And I have got a bag. I have got a book page. I have got some dyed line paper in a blue and kind of a pink. I have some very, very old grid paper. And I have a couple of pages of coffee dyed paper. I also have a digital here, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I want to stick with this. So let's go ahead and start. Let's fold this in half. And we're going to have to decide, we'll fold the bag in half. We need to decide how big our papers are going to need to be. So I'm going to pop this in here. And I'm going to just kind of mark right here. I know this isn't really tall. We can go a little taller, but I think it will help if I cut this so that we kind of know how wide we can go. Now you could make different sizes of papers. They don't all have to be the same size. I'm going to go ahead and take a few moments and I'm going to prepare the papers that I showed you for our little journal here. Now the papers are going to be 8 pages, so there's going to be 16 pages, but only 8 pages folded in half. And I'm going to go ahead and work on that, and then we're going to keep going. All right, so the papers are all in. Oh my goodness, look how pretty that one is. Like I said before, there are 8 pages, so 16 pages in total. I put my little bag in there. And then I've got enough of my thread that I sewed my signature in that we can put on a few little beads for a dangle. So I'm going to add my bead here. I'm going to put my thread back through my bead. There we are. And then that way I can pull it up to the bottom of my journal right here. And it's going to really pretty much stay in place because I have rehooked it in. As you can see, I put the thread through and then I went back through the hole again. I have a beautiful larger purple bead here. I think I'd like to use it. And then maybe a white bead because there is some, is there white? Well, there was white. Do I want white? Maybe not. I was going to use a different fabric when I was deciding what to do. Let's go ahead and use this one. I'll go back through it again because that's a nice hole in that bead and I should be able to get that back through it. It helps if I use my awl and I bring it up to the bottom of the last bead, just like that, making sure it's below my journal cover. And then I'm going to tie a double knot right here. There's one knot. I'm going to tie another knot. I'm going to snip off my material here. It is bookbinding material, and it has a little bit of wax covering on it. So I've got one of the dangles. Oh, that looks lovely. I'm going to work on my next one, and then we will continue. All right, so I turned on my white noise machine because my husband's come home and I don't know if the dogs will start barking or not, and I shut my door. So hopefully we can finish our video so you can make your last minute gift, right guys? So I have got the pages sewn in. I have got the beautiful dangles right there. Gorgeous. Now I have a few pieces of ephemera that I think we can add to our little journal just to make it just that more special. So I have got my art glitter glue, and these pieces, let me get my notes here, because these lavender ones are from a new digital creator that new to me. They're not new to the digital world, but let's see here. I've got my sheet. Here we are. Sweet Vintage Prints. It's the Lavender Cottage Tags and Labels. That's what I'm using right now. So I thought this would be great to decorate the inside. And then the bag. Here's the little bag here. Now I have a few little, here I've got this fussy cut. I thought this fussy cut of lavender would be very pretty here. I'm having a hard time keeping this to stay open as I glue, so I'm going to use my paper clips and just clip it so I can free up my hands so that we can pop on our little fussy cut of lavender. I'm going to place it at an angle so it will fit. There we go. And I have a little piece of paper towel. I can wipe off the extra. There we are. Very nice. And then I have a little journaling card that I can stick in here. And let's look at the back side. How about if we use this journaling card and one of our faux envelopes? Remember we made those faux envelopes not too long ago in our video about making envelopes. So I'm going to use that. Actually had them on my desk and I thought perfect. Pop that on there for some decoration. There we go. And then how about if we add one more digital to the back? I think this one would be perfect. So adding my glue. So you can just decorate with items that you have. Like I said, you can make it eclectic or you can make it actually a theme. That's all up to you and your creativity. All right, so we have our beautiful little journal all finished and ready to go. So what we need to do now is we need to decorate our bag. So let's get to that part. I have my paper bag that has a handle. You can purchase these from Walmart or even online. And this is 5.5 by 4 1/4 inches. I have another piece of fabric just like the one that I used on the front of my journal, so it makes it a nice little set. And the fabric is 4 3/4 inches by 3 1/4 inch. And I've got a scrap piece of the coffee dyed paper. And what I want to do is I want to do the same thing that I did for the cover of my journal. I'm going to take my Yoo-Hoo glue stick. I'm going to apply it to the back of my fabric. And then I'm going to place my fabric onto my piece of paper, just like this. And I'm going to trim it out like we did when we made our journal cover. So I'm just going to take my pinking shears and I'm going to trim just like this. I might need to trim a little bit more off of it, but it at least gets this cut down to a little bit better manageable size. All right, and then let's see how's it going to sit on there. Yeah, I think it's a little bit big. Oh, it's going to be pretty though. So I'm going to trim this down here. I'm going to trim down here. And then let's see, how's that going to fit on there? It's really tight on the top, but I really don't want to take any more off of the top. I think my material might have been a little bit too big, but that's okay. We can make it work. Adding my ink on the edge of my paper. I just love that look. I think it adds a lot. Now, we've got that. Because I sewed my material onto the cover of my little journal, I'm going to go ahead and sew around here. But, you know, you don't have to sew. I know not everyone has a sewing machine, but it's okay if you don't sew, and it's okay if you do sew. All right, as you can see, I went ahead and I sewed. I do like the little pieces kind of left hanging. The thread, I like that look. I'm going to add my art glitter glue to the edge of my paper here. I can hear Frankie Francine. She's starting to work. And let's see here. Let's get this down just like that. Press it down firmly. So then what I want to do is I'm going to bring in a little bit of my bling. All right, I've got my piece of bling. I'm not real sure where I want to put that yet, but I'm going to bring in that beautiful lavender sari silk that I ironed and then I pleated with my machine. And what I want to do is I want to hook it on one of the handles, and I'm going to tie a bow with this. So I'm going to make my loop, and I'm just going to tie a bow. Oh my goodness, isn't that gorgeous? That is just so beautiful. Now I've got a little piece of that lace again. I have a little bit left, and I think that'll be perfect right here for the center of my bow. So adding my glue, and then actually have a little screwdriver that's going to help me press that on there so I can get it to get glued. There we go. And then another one of those paper flowers, and we're going to go with that same purple color that we used on our journal. And so let's get that on there. Oh my goodness, isn't that looking gorgeous? Now I do want to add a little tag, you know, one that says to and from, but you know, it's printed on some paper that's really not strong at all. I'm looking to see, I had some cardstock, but I don't, there it is. Here it is, guys. I got it. Here's my little piece of cardstock. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to need to glue that on and then fussy cut it out. So let's add our glue onto here, and then we're going to need to fussy cut our little image out. I've got my little tiny scissors, and remember that we just hold our scissors still and we move our paper. So I do have to open my scissors, but I'm moving my paper, not my scissors. My scissors are remaining steady. And let's finish it off here. And almost done. Oh yeah, that's going to make a much nicer tag. I've got my sponge with my free burlap color on it, and that's going to be great. I have a little tiny hole punch. This is it, very tiny little hole punch, and I'm going to punch my hole. I'm not really going to do it where it said, I kind of went down a little further than what the digital had me do. I've got some thread here in a blue color. I'm going to get myself some off of here, off of my spool. And I'm going to place this in the hole here. I'll double it up if I can get my fingers to cooperate. And place it through the hole. And then I'm going to pull it through and open up my thread and feed my ends through my thread. So now it's going to be caught and hooked onto the tag. Now I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to make another knot to secure that. And what I want to do is I want to place this up underneath my Sari Silk bow. So I'm going to get it here, and I think I want it down about right there. I want it to hang down just so you can see where the tag is, so you can find out who it's to and who it's from, in case you're not the one that's handing out the gifts. All right, and I'm just going to trim a little bit. I'm going to let a little bit of that thread hang down because I really think that looks really good. Oh, look at that tag. Now, you know what? I just got an idea. Do I want to put the bling on the tag, or do I want the bling on the bag? I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe on the bag, but I'm not sure exactly where. I think that's too much of this bling. And I'm going to cut a little bit and make maybe just 3 pieces of bling and add it right down here to the bottom of my bag. What a lovely gift bag to give to someone. Now, if you want it to be Christmas themed, then that would be totally up to you. But what a great gift to give to someone, especially if you need a quick gift for someone this Christmas season, or basically any other time of the year. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.